My first year, we did well, got a bill taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
The guy was happy. They became my anchor, and then after that, I went from one client to about 13 clients in my first year, and it just took off. And then I said, well, this is going to work. But I saw something, and as we talk about Black History Month, I saw something. As well as I was down there, I looked around the room. There's about 1,000 lobbyists. I didn't see a lot of them look like me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, so when I sat around there, I said, this might work. This might be it. And it just happened to be the timing was perfect. I knew a lot of the players.
Yeah.
And it just took off. And then McGuire Woods, who is out of Richmond, Virginia, our corporate, and they called Harry, which again, it all started with Harry. They called Harry Kaplan. And Harry called me and said, would you be McGuire Woods wants to open up a North Carolina office here in Raleigh.
Yeah,
would
yeah.
you be willing to come with me and let's do it together?
Yeah, we up against this.
Man,
It sure is.
And your role and things you're doing. If you had to just leave us with a parting comment or remark or statement, what would that be?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think I'm on a sports radio show,
Yeah.
so I will say sports make us better. Sports make us better. Like, it's unifying. I think about, like, here I am today from Eastern North Carolina. I got on the red, black, and white, and I'm cheering for a hockey team.
Right.
Right? I'm cheering for a hockey team.
That's right.
That's good. Right.
When I grew up, I didn't know. I never watched hockey.
That's
right?
a very good point.
It
Yeah.
unifies
Yeah.
us, and that's what I love about North Carolina and that sport. So I think if we can do that, and if we can take that, like if we can somehow combine sports and politics,
Yeah.
right? Like a podcast or something like that to unify us. That's where we need to go because unfortunately our world is too divided.
That's great.
Right?
That's
but it's
great.
around sport
That's great.
that we
Unite. That's
and
exactly
so we
right.
need to
That's
take that
good.
same
Yeah.
philosophy, that same sports,
Yeah.
we come together and apply it to the world and
Yeah.
politics and work better together and then move
Wow.
the ball forward.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
I mean,
great, wonderful, wonderful. Glad to have you on. Marcus, congratulations being a 2023 Salute Champions Award recipient. And it is a pleasure to have you on because, we see you all the time. I see you all the time. I see all the hard work you're doing. But I want to just start with being a graduate of NCCU and being where you are now, performing, being a Grammy, a Stellar Award nominee, and all the great things that are happening. Did you see yourself on this journey, on this path when you left North Carolina Central University?
I sort of did, but not at this age. I'm 38. I thought I'd still be like, out on tour. And I'm still touring, but I didn't think it would be, so many things piled on top of like touring, like having a coffee and then having, going back to NCCU,
yes.
doing, does have my own festival. I was like, I'll probably have it around 45.
Yeah.
I'm 38 now, and like a lot of this started like in my early 30s, and
Yeah.
it was a rough start at first because there was a lot of driving to places, sleeping in your car,
Yep.
sleeping on people's couches, and go to. I remember I got my first hotel room. Somebody supplied for me. I was like, I made it. They just got me a hotel room, and I'm in my mind.
No,
thinking,
that's real.
I have arrived.
And say, I don't have 3, master degrees. I don't have a PhD. I don't have these tremendous opportunities. Who am I to help? What do you say to those individuals?
I got to say, I spent a season trying to share that democracy functions at the voter level, not at the county level or the state level. It's at the voter level. So the assumption is that this voter is fully confident in ideas, that voter is fully informed in what they need,
Right.
and that voter is now capable of holding those who represent them. So the only power that representative have is that they are leaning into that voter.
Right.
So I think the individual who feels that they don't have any titles, or I said, you are the most powerful in this democracy. You hold the soil by which our democracy stays healthy. And so,
I got my pearls on today,
Oh,
representing.
beautiful.
Yes, got my
Yes.
pearls on, and I am one of your pearls. You know, I'm
Absolutely.
a co-author of your book.
Yes,
the
indeed.
Small Pearls in Every Girl.
Yes.
And that is your passion, and that's your platform. And you did something recently.
Oh, my gosh.
You dream come true.
Yes.
When you talk about, we say, she's impacted our community,
Yes.
but she's taken that a step further, and it's in Africa now, where she's
Africa.
impacting the lives
Yeah,
of
the
young
Gambia.
girls. So can you
Yeah.
tell us more about that?
Certainly. Since I started that program, the Small Pearls Lead Academy 10 years ago, I really wanted to connect my girls to the world, to Africa. I want to give them a thirst for the world. And we connected with a colleague, our Mary Khan. She is the CEO of the Woman Boss over in the Gambia. And so her girls are now my Small Pearls. And we had a live Zoom a week ago. And I tell you, I'm so full because the girls were excited on this side of the world and on that side of the world, and everybody had on pearls, and it was just beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Incredible. Personally, that every layer of the university that you are kind of locked in to that. Given that, though, as you look at your leadership style, and I know I kind of didn't know the answer to this question, what are some things that's most important to you?
Thank you so much. As a leader, I'm looking for people who subscribe and believe in the vision that I lay down. At times, that's very difficult to find. People come in and want to pursue their own goals. But if you're going to be a strong leader, you need to find people who subscribe to the vision that you have and to help you build that vision. And that's one of my strongest suits, if you coming on board, if I lay out a vision that I want to hear your thoughts, and I want to see how you could help me to get to that point. My leadership style is quite open. I like people who perform. I like people who do their job. I like people who feel accountable. And if you're doing those things, I have no problem with me.
Talk to me about bridging the gap from those historic times you just talked about to where we are now in the state of affairs, and what could we take from that era, right, to help define the vision of how we should move forward from today.
Yeah, well, the first thing we got to remember that we are evolving, that victories are being won, have been won, are being won, and shall be won. But certainly it's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
And when we look at the civil rights history and the success of that particular movement, you see a sense of unity around goals and values and principles that really mattered for a large group of people. Loving your neighbor and at least exploring the possibility of nonviolence, even though if you are not a nonviolent person within yourself, but when you're working for a cause, being willing to put down the weapon and then to pick up the weapon of love and dialogue and openness to quote unquote the other, and some of those we still can certainly apply to what we're going through now. We're so divided in so many ways. And when you deal with the things that are common for all of us, living together and respecting human personality and learning to be open to people who are different than we are, but also working for those systems that provide for people so that they have jobs and available housing, that they get education, and they have access to the great quote-unquote American dream, because we live in a capitalistic empire in reality, and everyone needs to participate and have and do so. The other thing is that we really need to be educated in terms of what the struggle represented, and the shoulders upon which we stand, and not to be about amnesia and forgetting where we came from. People